Greetings, fellow nature lovers.
Have you ever pondered the paradox between human progress and the natural world? Can we truly coexist with nature? Or have we, as a species, evolved into a parasitic force, endangering our very own planet Earth? Embark with us as we uncover the astonishing resilience of some of Earth's most heat-enduring inhabitants, contrasting starkly with our own vulnerability. As we explore the incredible heat-adapted creatures, we confront the pressing question: can we mend the bond between humanity and nature, and once again thrive as harmonious inhabitants of this beautiful planet that is our only home? Whew! Feels like we could cook breakfast right here on the dashboard.
We probably could in a few hours. The weather forecast says it's going to be almost 54 degrees Celsius today.
Humans definitely can't live in this kind of climate. Can't imagine any other animals that can.
You'd be surprised, mate. Life finds a way, even in the most extreme environments. And I'm not talking just bacteria or worms. Life on Earth will continue. We're the ones that need to be worried.
We better take things seriously, or it's game over. If changes happen gradually, like they do naturally, we have time to adapt and adjust. Not to be pessimistic, but instability in weather makes current agricultural strategies impossible.
That's why we drive an EV. But if we don't find a charging station, we'll be reducing a lot more than just our carbon footprint.
Whoa, slow down. Look at that. Is that a Chuck Wallace?
Looks like a Gila monster. You don't see them often here. But these venomous lizards are masters of heat adaptation. They're mainly found in the southwestern United States and northern Mexico, where they can survive temperatures exceeding 130 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 54 degrees Celsius. Their thick skin with bony scales, slow metabolism, burrowing behavior, nocturnal lifestyle, water storage capability, and effective thermoregulation mechanisms enable them to thrive in extreme heat. While they are well equipped to handle high temperatures, it's important to remember that Gila monsters are also venomous, possessing venom glands in their lower jaws. Despite this, they are generally reclusive and prefer to avoid conflict with humans.
So, your ideal pet? Ah, there it is. The turn is just to the right. I could feel my anticipation grow as we traversed the small, dusty road through twisted pine trees, the breath of the forest lapping at the heat from the barren valley below. At last, the rugged wood sign reading Mahogany Flat Campground came into view.
Don't forget the map, mate. We can't only rely on the GPS out here, otherwise we could be navigating by landmarks and coyote scat.
We checked our day packs one last time and followed the sign to the well-trodden trailhead that extended out across the ridge and up to the 11,049-foot summit of Telescope Peak. Below, the valley spread out like a scene from an alien planet. The water of Badwater Basin glinted like a puddle of mercury, rimmed with the gaping jaws of slowly eroding sandstone. The thin air filled our lungs in hungry breaths, and in that moment, we were lighter than the dandelion pappus that floated on the July breeze around us. We had no idea that this glorious morning would soon transform into a nightmare that would test not only our physical strength, but our inner resilience as men.
This bristlecone pine is over 1,000 years old. Unlike humans, they don't die of old age. Some of these trees are thousands of years old.
That's one magnificent bonsai, but look at all those dead ones. Wouldn't want to stumble through here at night, they look like gnarled ghosts.
Hundreds of these trees have been mysteriously dying. Researchers suspect the high temperatures weakened them, making them susceptible to voracious bark beetles. After outlasting millennia of changing weather and disasters, human-caused climate change is proving too much for these ancient trees.
Our moods only dampened slightly as we picked our way through the forest of grisly tree carcasses, their twisted arms reaching for the pale desert sky in what seemed to be endless silent screams. Soon we traversed a ravine and found the trail was blocked by a small landslide. Mate, should we go back?
No. According to the GPS, we're only 2 hours away from the summit. The trailhead wasn't roped off, shouldn't be anything we can't handle. Let's go around this other side.
I felt uneasy as I looked at the map and the tumble of rocks blocking our way. The sun was now ascending to new heights, its heat becoming uncomfortable. As we climbed down the ravine, we crossed a small stream that pooled at a bend in the rocks. Below, heat waves rippled off the valley, bending in the light.
Oh, must be over 49 degrees Celsius down in the valley by now. You ever heard of pupfish? The desert pupfish can survive in small, warm water springs, like this one right here.
Be serious, wouldn't they die in a hot spring?
My goldfish Goldfinger died because I left its tank in the window for one afternoon. Well, you probably forgot to feed it too. But get this, the Hulimes pupfish, Cyprodon hulimes, has adapted to survive in water temperatures that can reach as high as a scorching 46 degrees Celsius. That's 114 Fahrenheit. It's native to El Pandino, a hot spring in Hulimes, Chihuahua, Mexico. The Hulimes pupfish's ability to thrive in such extreme temperatures is a testament to its remarkable evolutionary adaptations. These adaptations likely include specialized physiological and behavioral traits that allow it to regulate its body temperature, manage water balance, and find suitable refuge. Travis! Without warning, the ground gave way, and in an instant, Travis disappeared. I lunged forwards with only one thought screaming through my mind: not this time. The image of Margaret, blood black as ink, spreading in slow motion across the front of her shirt, eyes wide with surprise. My fists helplessly hitting the thick glass enclosure. I got you! Alec, you have to let go. The ground can't hold both our weight. Look, I can slide down if you swing me to the right. I'm not letting you fall, you'll break your legs! Be reasonable. You have to go back and get help. Let go. I've landed falls much higher than this. No!
That is a mess. How can you show that in public? It's not perfect. Do it again.
I'm sorry. Try again.
I'm sorry. Try again.
I am perfect.
Good. You're finally awake. You scared me, mate. Ah, my leg. Looks like a sprain or a fracture. The good news is there aren't any bones sticking out. Can you sit up? I assessed our situation. We appeared to be on some sort of rock outcropping. The wreckage of the landslide that should have buried us alive spilled down the side of the mountain in a path of destruction. I caught sight of one of our packs, a splash of color amid the shades of grey. The sun was now directly overhead. Its blazing radiance felt like opening an oven door. The bad news is we don't have either of our packs. Are you hurt? A little bruised up, but nothing serious. He seemed calm, but I could see a slight hesitation as he eyed the direction of the sun. Humans aren't adapted to withstand these kinds of temperatures. Prolonged exposure at 45 degrees Celsius, well, our chances not good. Use your outer shirt to cover your head. He wrapped his shirt around his head like a turban, and I followed suit. Now all we need are some camels. If only we were camels. They possess remarkable adaptations that enable them to endure temperatures ranging from 20 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 6 degrees Celsius in cold nights, to over 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius during the scorching days. Their thick fur, efficient thermoregulation, and unique ability to tolerate higher body temperatures than humans help them conserve water and withstand rapid temperature changes. Camels' exceptional water conservation and fat storage capability allows them to go without water or food for days to weeks. The next few hours seemed to drag on in agonizing moments as I fell in and out of a dazed sleep, my vision blurred by pain and dehydration.
As the blissfully cool cloak of night approached, Travis seemed to shake himself out of what appeared to be a deep trance.
We have to move. Another day out here and we're a deluxe buzzards buffet. Can you stand?
Alright mate, let's do this. After what seemed like hours of inching over rocks, we made it down the slope and onto the valley floor. By then, night had swallowed the sky. The Milky Way spilled out in a billion blazing particles of dazzling light. Maybe it was the pain and exhaustion, or my brain inching closer to the final moment of death. But there, leaning heavily on a stick, my feet in the ancient sands, the stars suddenly appeared to float around me in 3D. My physical body lost all form, and in one blissful breath, I ceased to exist.
Look at that. It's a kit fox. They're considered the American counterpart to the fennec foxes. I like to think of them as desert ninjas. They've got oversized ears that help dissipate heat and keep them cool. Found in the Sahara Desert, they're adapted to withstand temperatures of up to 49 degrees Celsius, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, during the day and even colder nights. Kit foxes are no less impressive and can survive without fresh water, getting all they need from their prey. Mate, I got breakfast.
You Bear Grylls now? I'm not eating that.
Just be thankful it's a giant sand scorpion and not a deathstalker scorpion. Deathstalkers are found in the Sahara Desert, the Arabian Desert, and Thar, the Great Indian Desert. Their venom is so potent it can incapacitate its prey in seconds. Despite their sinister reputation, they're adapted to handle temperatures over 49 degrees Celsius, that's 120 degrees Fahrenheit, with their tough exoskeleton and burrowing habits.
You enjoy, breakfast. I'm gonna make a shelter out of these bushes.
Put those architecture skills to use!
We were both trying to put up a good act, but our strength was dwindling. And although we knew we were headed in the right direction from the faint lights we spotted at night, in our condition, it would take days to traverse the distance. We didn't have days. We would be lucky to make it through another 5 hours of scorching 54 degrees heat.
Wow, it's a tortoise. It's a desert tortoise. They retreat into burrows during the hottest part of the day and can endure temperatures exceeding 60 degrees Celsius. That's 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Their ability to store water in their bladders and tolerate dehydration helps them endure the heat. Speaking of bladders, I haven't been able to urinate. We need to find water, and soon.
60 degrees C is extreme. Other than bacteria, there can't be much life that can survive beyond that.
The Saharan silver ant, a desert-dwelling ant species, is known for withstanding incredibly high temperatures. It has been recorded to endure surface temperatures of up to 70 degrees Celsius, 158 degrees Fahrenheit, in its natural habitat, thanks to its remarkable heat resistance adaptations, such as a reflective silver-colored body, long legs that minimize contact with hot sand, and a swift foraging strategy that minimizes exposure. Swift as in Barry Allen speeds, they can move up to 855 millimeters, 33.7 inches per second, which is roughly 108 times their body length per second. But Saharan silver ants are not the hotshot winners here. The Pompeii worm is an extremophile polychaete worm that survives in the extreme conditions of hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, enduring temperatures exceeding 80 degrees Celsius. That's 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Named after the preserved city of Pompeii, it constructs heat-resistant tubes for protection and has a symbiotic relationship with bacteria that convert vent fluids into nutrition.
This really highlights the remarkable resilience of life in challenging environments. We can study these animals to learn how to build heat-resistant and energy-efficient homes. Travis, is that someone walking towards us? Or am I seeing a mirage? Travis? Travis, wake up, mate! Over here! Over here! Help! Help! How long have you been out here? Here, have some water. Just a sip, not too much. My friend, he's passed out. He needs a doctor. You and your friend are lucky to have sheltered here under these mesquite bushes, as they are part of the Mesquite Traditional Use Pilot Project. Our tribe has lived here in this valley for a millennium. Not long ago, we lived off the land and looked after these wild mesquite bushes. Before the settlers came, this entire valley was full of them. In the late spring, we would harvest and grind the pods into sweet flour to make into cakes. During the harvest, we would also trim back the dead bushes and care for them as they cared for us. We plan to grow enough to do this again for our children and grandchildren. I sat nervously, waiting to hear an update on Travis's condition, listening with fascination as Jake explained how the Numu Tumpisatsi, literally people from the place of red ochre face paint, known as the Timbisha Shoshone tribe to outsiders, lived in what is now called Death Valley, a name they loathe. Tupipa is the real name for this valley they have called home for a millennium, until they were moved out and resettled multiple times by invading miners, interested only in profits.
Oh, my man, am I happy to see you?
Don't go scaring me like that again.
Don't plan on it. Still have a few things on my bucket list.
As I took one last look at Tupipa, the morning sky washed in shades of watercolor pink, I felt the vastness of nature and a deep sense of oneness and connection fall over me. A hopeful belief resonated. We have the power to rejuvenate our planet and rectify our errors. By embracing the teachings of our elders and the wisdom of those who walked before us, we can rediscover the art of harmonious coexistence and flourish in the paradise we know as Earth. In our religion, we don't practice within four walls. Our religion is written in all these mountains and in the valleys, in the waters, in the wildlife, everything that belongs to the Creator. So, we're in church every day. That's what we say. Paulina Steves, 92, Timbisha Shoshone Elder, November 2015.